Gross here, we're in our algebra unit, doing our notes over expressions, equations, and inequalities, and today we're focusing on equations. If you haven't already, go back and watch the video on expressions first, simplifying expressions, and make sure that you have your guided notes in your red notebook before we get started. So these were the notes on simplifying expressions. We're going to go ahead and move on to equations. So step one, again, we're going to simplify that expression like we learned in the last video. You can expand using the distributive property or factor using division by the greatest common factor, and then combine like terms. So then once your equation is simplified, you may have something that looks like this. Negative 2x plus 4 equals 16. Okay, so let's say that that's our equation. And so we want to get rid of the constant. The constant is the number, the term that is either being added or subtracted, and there's no variable attached. So in this particular case, this plus 4 here is our constant. 16 is not the constant because that's what it's equal to. So we want to get rid of this plus 4 by doing the opposite. The opposite of addition is subtraction, and the opposite of subtraction is addition. So since it's plus 4, we want to subtract 4. Now, one of the things that my elementary or my middle school teacher taught me was to do what was called railroad tracks. So you're drawing a line down your equal sign. And so you're going to see me do that a lot. It keeps the equations on seeing which side, it separates the equation so that you can see if you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. And we're left with negative 2x plus 4 minus 4. These cancel out. It's like negative 4 and positive 4 makes 0. Keep those equal sign there. 16 minus 4 is 12. So now we have negative 2x equals 12. And that gets us to our next one. Step 3, get rid of the coefficient. The coefficient is the number attached to the variable. In this particular case, it is multiplication, so it's negative 2 times x equals 12. So we want to undo multiplication by doing division. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. A negative divided by negative is a positive, so that would be positive 1x. So you can just write x there. Why did it? Full screen. Let me see what I'm doing wrong. There we go. So it would be positive x, and then 12 divided by negative 2 is negative 6. So x here equals negative 6. And go back to that split view. And so there is a watch out problem. Oh, if they have division. So sometimes you may see it looking like this. You may have x over negative 4 equals 3. And in that particular case, this is a division problem, so the opposite of division would be multiplication. So you would multiply by negative 4. And x would equal, those would cancel out, x would equal negative 12. So if you had a problem like that, you would do the opposite of division, which is multiplication. And then sometimes you have a weird one. Let me show you. It's in your, you've got it in your notes, but I wanted you to see it. Sometimes you may have a weird problem that looks like this. 4x plus 3 over 8 equals 12. And so what you would have to do in this particular case, you would have to get rid of this divided by 8 first, or that fraction. So we say get rid of the denominator by using multiplication. So you would times by 8 on this particular problem. Those two would cancel out because 8 divided by 8 is 1. And then you've got 4x plus 3 equals 12 times 8, which would be 96. And then you could solve the problem. Then you could get rid of your constant. 4x equals 93, and then get rid of your coefficient, divide by 4. And in this particular case, 4 does not go into 93 evenly, so you're going to have a fraction. You can put it in however you however you want to. It'd be 7, right? 4 times 7. No, 12. Good night. It would be 20 something. Let's do it. 4 goes into 93. I was thinking 12 in that particular case. 12 times 7. 2, 8, 13. So this one goes in there 4 times. 12, 1. So it'd be 24 and 1/4. 24 and 1/4, or 24. That is a 4. I pretend that's a 4. We'll do a little eraser right here. Pretend that's a 4 though. There we go. 24 and 1/4, or 24.25. Okay. So let's go back to our guided notes. Pause the video if you need to get these notes in. And then the next video we will be watching is on inequalities. Have a great day.